And
I
especially,
was,
just want to add here on the male side,
yeah.
some men feel that they're less stronger, less masculine when they bring these emotional things up because how did they
Mhm.
grow up? Big boys don't cry, man up, and all of
Right.
that. So
Oh
now
my goodness.
they suppress all of that, those emotions
Yeah.
from early in life, right until later in life.
Exactly, which brings us to the next point, which is why we struggle. And I would say you're got a great point right there, is that for men, they are told to, for the most part, to be strong, man
Yeah.
up, don't open up, stay closed. The vulnerability is a beautiful thing. It's truly the only way to open up your heart and for someone else to get to know you, whether it be you and your guy friend talking or you talking to your wife or your girlfriend. We have to open up and express ourselves and to communicate who we truly are and what our needs are. And if we don't do that and we suppress that, um, we cut the line. It's like, how do we communicate if all we have is the telephone and we choose not to pick up the phone and call somebody? And because, that's a sign of weakness, which is not. It's truly a sign of strength when we choose to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a beautiful, if you've ever seen Brene Brown's TED Talk on vulnerability, it's wonderful. And I think it's
Mm.
still the number one TED Talk. But yes, I'm so glad you mentioned vulnerability because it is something that I admire in a man when he chooses to go that route because for anybody, it's a very scary thing. And when you open up and you're vulnerable and say, hey, this is what my needs are, and you use I statements, by the way,
Yeah.
and using I statements is very important instead of saying, you made me feel this way. We want to reframe that and say, I feel this way, or I felt this way when this happened. And my needs are, I would appreciate if we could, and this is what I'm looking for. So,
It's such a shame because many times men, and I understand why, just what we're talking about, get a bad rap, if you will, because when they're confronted, they shut down. I don't want to talk about this right now. I'm not dealing with this. What about later? But maybe later we'll get back.
yeah.
I think deep down inside he does want to, but he doesn't know how to because he never got a chance to because of all the things that we're identifying here.
Right, right. And unfortunately, that's just the culture, right? And I think if um, in the relationship coach world or just with the divorce rate that's going on right now, we just have to realize that something's got to give,
Yeah.
right? And numbing ourselves isn't doing anybody any good. And we're to the point where the culture is constantly talking about healing. And when we have a higher percentage of, the divorce rate is so high, relationships aren't working, you get on the dating apps, and it's just like there's just no connection after the 3-month honeymoon period's over. It's just like, okay, start over again with somebody else. It's just this vicious cycle,
Mm,
and you're trying to figure it all out, right? Like we talked about before with boundaries, and now we're talking about needs. All of this stems to a couple of words. One, we want to feel safe, seen, valued. And in order to do that, we have to build the confidence to convey our boundaries and our emotional needs in order to feel safe, connected, and valued. And when both people can feel that and be vulnerable and express their needs to one another, you have a beautiful foundation and a beautiful relationship. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you've ever heard that uh, an emotional affair is the strongest affair aside from a physical affair. And
hmm
there's a very good reason for that because you're bonding. There is two people who have decided to come together emotionally and open up their heart to one another. That has started an emotional connection, a deep bond. So if
Yeah.
you can do that in your relationship with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, fiance, whatever, and you've got something, you've got a great foundation. So
So finding the confidence to do that or even just express your emotion, would that begin with you in identifying the emotions? Because how can you express something that you're unaware of?
right.
And like really kind of doing some soul searching first.
Absolutely, 100%. You hit the nail on the head. It's identifying that. It's pausing because like we mentioned before, especially if you're in a heated argument, right? And you're just spitting out words. That used to be me, right? It was just like you just have to get your point across, but you don't know how, and you've got all these thoughts and emotions running like crazy and you just want to fix it now. And you really just have to take a moment, pause, breathe, reset. If you have to just go into the other room for a little bit and think about what it is that you really want to convey. And so the first step you have to do is just kind of calm down. And even if you have to write it down, think about what am I feeling right now? And what you're feeling right now is most likely going to be some negative emotions. So think about what is the opposite of that negative emotion, and you've found your need. That's your emotional need that you're looking for, whether it be
Hmm.
in that particular moment or your overall emotional need. So if you can figure out what you're feeling right now, put a name to it, name it, claim it, and then obviously, if it's in that situation like that, that's going to be a negative feeling, then you want to turn that around into a positive. Okay, so if I'm feeling um, scared, I need to feel courageous. If I'm feeling unloved, I need to feel worthy or loved. Right. If I'm feeling like, we'll use time, for example, like you're not here, you're not present enough for me. Quality time is something that I need and that I value.
Hmm.
So when we choose to suppress all that because we don't want to, come across as needy, especially for people who are um, early on in a relationship, for example, in the dating world, and they don't want to come across as too needy, and that's something that it's so important to have those conversations early on to not waste anyone's time or to not go into a situation that's completely unnecessary and hurts both people.
It's kind of tough, especially at the beginning of a relationship, to
Yeah,
go there. You know, at the very beginning, to even say, "What do you want? Like, what do you want in a relationship? This relationship?
yeah,
What's important to you?" Even the five love languages. I think in the very early stages, all right,
yeah,
let's go online here. Let's take
yeah,
20 minutes and see, you
yeah.
know, what fits you, unless you already know. Like we already know. We've already done,
Right,
the
right,
quiz.
right,
Um, but honestly, I didn't even have to do the quiz. I just looked at the five. I'm like, yeah, no problem. That's it. I know what
right.
it is. I appreciate the acts of service, but that's not really what moves me.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice, but um, you
That's
know,
last on your list, right?
yeah, it's nice, plate of meatballs and sauce and everything. That's great, but there's other things that are more important.
Right.
But identifying them. But yeah, the finding the confidence. I really feel that you need to figure you out first before, and like
Abs
really to the point where you really know as opposed to you're guessing before you can
sure.
convey that to anybody else.
Absolutely. And that's exactly it. You do have to know yourself. And even if, so for example, we're going to go back again to our childhood where we're still trying to figure ourselves out. We're going to relationship to relationship to relationship, and you're not taking the time to actually process and heal and find yourself and kind of put a name to what all of this is, boundaries, standards, what my needs are. And oh my gosh, I learned all of this late in life, very, very late in life.
Mm,
And
same.
when you take the time to, put pause on all of this and just focus on yourself and your healing, and it's really not overrated, this whole healing thing. It's just something that we really need to just keep pushing a little bit more. And what that means is taking time to just process everything you've been through in life that hurt you, and taking the time to figure out who you really are and what you need. So you said it, Steve. It's figuring out it's knowing yourself, and the only way to do that is just to take time and to listen to your emotions and your feelings. And if they're negative, switch that to the positive, and then you'll find it.
Would you say that a lot of the benefit and beauty that comes from this is once you figure out your emotions and that gets you to the point of expressing and conveying them with confidence,
Hmm.
the bonus from all of this is you're stronger, you're able to put up boundaries, you
Hmm.
truly know what you need and want in life. Even if you're
Hmm.
single, if you figure that out, it's like, oh, now I know what I'm looking for, and you're
Right.
not it. And
Right.
maybe you're not it. Oh, wait a minute. You seem to be, fitting, checking all the boxes, but you can't check the boxes until you truly know what you want, truly know you.
Exactly. Yes. And not only that, but then you start to feel some peace of mind with yourself because you're not suppressing anything anymore.
Yes.
You're feeling more reassured with yourself because now that you actually see it, it's clear to you now what you're feeling and what you're seeing and what it is, emotional needs and boundaries, right? You've kind of got it all laid out for yourself instead of kind of just going with the flow of life and relationships and such. So
Mm.
now that has built confidence in you and you feel more self-worth, more self-love, more self-acceptance, and more reassurance in yourself to convey that. And when you do, and you're with the right person who respects you, they're going to honor that, right? And
Mm.
then you're going to take the time to listen to their needs and like I said, because listening is another form of communication. So, and you're going to honor each other's needs and boundaries, or whatever they are. Most importantly, I would say needs comes up more frequently, almost probably on a day-to-day or a weekly basis with a couple or friendship. And when you can listen to one another and communicate that effectively and honor each other's feelings and emotions because you're being vulnerable with each other,
Yep.
that creates a really strong bond.
It makes all the other stuff even better, if you will.
Hi, it's
Absolutely.
Tiffany, Coach Tiffany. I just wanted to say hello and thank you to all of my subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing and don't forget to hit the like button. It really means a lot and I appreciate your support. Also, if there's anything that you want me to cover or create in any kind of content, please feel free to go ahead and comment below. Thanks again. Have a great day.